In a quiet suburban neighborhood, nestled among rows of charming houses with manicured lawns, a peculiar case began to unfold. It was a case that would leave neighbors stunned and curious, whispering amongst themselves about the strange events surrounding one woman's beloved plant. Imagine, if you will, a vibrant green plant, a rare species known for its unique beauty and resilience. Its owner, a woman named Clara, had nurtured this plant for years. It was more than just a plant to her, it was a symbol of her love for gardening, a testament to her patience and care. But one fateful morning, Clara awoke to a shocking discovery. Her precious plant was gone. Where could it have gone? Clara immediately assumed the worst. Could it have been stolen? In an age where personal belongings often find their way into the wrong hands, this idea was not far-fetched. Clara's heart raced as she considered the implications. What would drive someone to steal a plant, and who would do such a thing? Determined to get to the bottom of this mystery, Clara began her investigation. She started by retracing her steps from the previous day. She remembered watering her plant, talking to it as she always did, sharing her secrets and dreams. The connection she felt with this living creature was profound. Clara decided to speak to her neighbors. After all, it was a close-knit community, and surely someone must have seen or heard something unusual. As she approached her neighbor, Mrs. Jenkins, Clara couldn't hide the distress in her voice. "Have you seen my plant?" she asked, desperation creeping in. Mrs. Jenkins looked taken aback. "Your plant, the one in the ceramic pot by your front porch?" Clara nodded vigorously, her eyes wide with worry. Mrs. Jenkins furrowed her brow, trying to recall any strange happenings. "I did see a shadowy figure near your porch last night," she said slowly, her tone serious. A chill ran down Clara's spine. A shadowy figure, what could that mean? "Do you think it was someone trying to steal it?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Mrs. Jenkins shrugged. "It's hard to say, but I did notice someone lingering around your house." Could this be the lead Clara was looking for? With renewed determination, Clara decided to take action. She posted on social media, sharing a heartfelt message about her missing plant. The post quickly gained traction. Friends and family shared it, and soon the entire community was buzzing with the news. Clara received messages of support, but she also received a few strange replies. One individual claimed to have seen her plant at a local flea market, while another insisted they knew someone who had a similar plant for sale. Clara's heart raced with hope and suspicion. Could her plant really be out there waiting to be found? Days turned into a week, and the search for Clara's plant intensified. She visited the flea market, scanning every stall with a keen eye. She asked vendors if they had seen her rare plant, describing its unique characteristics. Yet each time she was met with shaking heads and sympathetic smiles. Just when Clara thought her search was in vain, she received a tip from a friend. "I heard that someone is selling a rare plant on an online marketplace," she said. "You should check it out." Without wasting a moment, Clara logged onto the site. Her heart raced as she scrolled through the listings. And there it was, a photograph of a plant that looked strikingly familiar. Could it be? Clara felt a mix of excitement and dread. She quickly contacted the seller, arranging to meet at a nearby cafe. As she approached the cafe, she rehearsed what she would say. "This is my plant," she would declare, "and I want it back." When she arrived, Clara saw a young woman sitting at a table, her hands resting atop the very plant Clara had lost. The woman looked up and their eyes met. "Are you the one selling this?" Clara asked, her voice steady but filled with emotion. The woman nodded, a hint of uncertainty in her expression. "Yes, I found it in my garden. I thought it was abandoned." Clara felt a wave of relief wash over her. "This is my plant. It was stolen from me." But the woman shook her head. "I'm sorry, but it's not stolen if I found it." A tense silence hung between them. Clara felt the weight of the moment pressing down. What would she do now? Without hesitation, Clara decided to take action. She reached out to the authorities, explaining the situation. The police were skeptical at first, but Clara insisted on filing a report. Could they really investigate a stolen plant? It seemed outrageous, but Clara was determined to pursue justice for her beloved greenery. As the police began their inquiry, Clara learned that many people had been victims of similar plant thefts. It turned out that a growing underground market existed for rare plants, where collectors would pay top dollar for unique specimens. Could this be a part of something much larger? The investigation led the police to question several suspects, including the young woman who had claimed to find Clara's plant. But as they dug deeper, they discovered a network of plant thieves operating in the area. During this time, Clara's story gained media attention. News outlets began covering the bizarre case of the stolen plant. People were fascinated by the idea of a plant being stolen, and Clara found herself in the spotlight. Can you believe this actually happened? A simple plant-stealing case had turned into a sensational story that captivated the community. Clara became somewhat of a local celebrity, her plight resonating with many who found humor and intrigue in the situation. Yet Clara remained focused on the return of her plant. The police finally made an arrest, apprehending a man who had been linked to several thefts in the area. When Clara was called in for an identification, she felt a mix of hope and anxiety. Would this man be the one responsible for her plant's disappearance? In the police station, Clara stood before a lineup of suspects, her heart pounding. As she scanned the faces, she spotted one that looked familiar. The man had been caught on surveillance footage lingering around her home. "That's him," Clara exclaimed, pointing a trembling finger. The police took swift action, but Clara's journey wasn't over yet. The case went to court, and Clara found herself sitting in a courtroom, surrounded by the buzz of legal proceedings. The atmosphere was tense, and she felt the weight of her emotions as she faced the man she believed had stolen her plant. As the case unfolded, the defense argued that Clara could not definitively prove ownership of the plant. "How can you be sure it was yours?" the lawyer challenged. "Plants can look similar, and possession is 9/10 of the law." Clara's heart sank. Could it be that her love for this plant, her sorrow over its loss, would not be enough to secure its return? But Clara was determined. She presented photographs of her plant taken before it was stolen, showing its unique features and growth patterns. She even enlisted the help of botanists who testified about the rarity of the species and the care it required. The courtroom was spellbound as Clara spoke passionately about her connection to the plant. "This is not just a plant," she argued. "It's a part of my life, my story." In an unexpected twist, the judge ruled in Clara's favor, stating that the evidence presented demonstrated her ownership, and he ordered the return of the plant. Clara couldn't believe it. As she walked out of the courtroom, clutching her beloved plant, she felt a profound sense of victory. She had fought for what was right, and against all odds, she had succeeded. What an unbelievable journey it had been, from a simple morning of watering her plant to a courtroom drama that had captivated a community. Clara's story serves as a reminder that sometimes, even the smallest of things can lead to extraordinary adventures. And who would have thought that a plant could spark such a whirlwind of events? In the end, Clara not only reclaimed her plant, but also discovered the strength she never knew she had. And while life returned to normal in the quiet suburban neighborhood, the legend of the woman who claimed her plant was stolen would live on, echoing in the hearts and minds of everyone who heard her story. So next time you tend to your garden, think of Clara and her incredible journey, and ask yourself, what would you do if your prized possession was taken from you? Would you fight to get it back, or would you let it go? As for Clara, she learned that sometimes the greatest treasures are not just the things we own, but the passion and determination we bring to protect them.